Hi, welcome to the Daily Creak. I'm Jay. Glad you could join me today. This is wisdom with a side of ibuprofen. I would tend to say more ibuprofen than wisdom, but I guess you can be the judge of that. So there's a lot of things going on in the world. Man, as I record this, it's Friday, May 8th, 2026. You've got a hantavirus supposedly spreading all over the place, but I would use your common sense on that one, and maybe don't believe everything that you see on the network television, on the cable news networks, on, you know, ABC, NBC, CBS, on CNN, on Fox News, on MS Now. Take all of that with a grain of salt. Because if you remember back in 2020, we had something similar come out that got way out of control. It scared a lot of people, and we're not going to be scared this time. Don't let the hype on something that we know very little about at this point, and from all that I have seen and heard about it, this is not as big a deal as they're making it out to be. So please don't get scared from the hantavirus. The other thing is, apparently, coming out soon, we're going to have disclosure of alien life. Well, by the time you see this video, maybe it's already been disclosed. But again, don't believe everything that you see and hear on the network news. Don't believe everything that you see and hear on YouTube, for crying out loud. I'm going to tell you to approach all that stuff with caution. And my own opinion on that is that it's a distraction. It's maybe more than a distraction. It may be a totally fabricated event to establish more control over us. Who knows? But the bottom line is, we have a creator God that's in charge. We also have a small g God of this world that is up to no good and does nothing but mischief. So pay attention, be discerning, and don't believe everything. Use your brain and use your Bible. That's my best advice. Maybe we'll talk about this again at some other point, but I'm here to talk about some other things you should watch out for. And those are financial scams. Financial scams by, well, maybe not the small g God of this world, but, maybe some guy who's living in his mom's basement, munching on Doritos all day long and drinking tons of Mountain Dew. And he has nothing better to do but to try and scam you out of your hard-earned money. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And to do that, we're going to go to the National Center on Aging. And we're going to talk about financial scammers. So let's start right here. Fraudsters and con artists tend to go after older adults because these con men, con people, I don't want to just, keep it to men. There's probably con women too. They believe we have plenty of money in the bank. I know I don't have lots of money in the bank. I know you don't have lots of money in the bank. But they think we do. But they don't just target the wealthy among us. Those of us who live on, relatively modest fixed incomes are also victims of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of this stuff and what to watch out for. Now, one of the things that crossed my mind while I was doing research on this was, every day in my email I get, you know, I get, I get supposedly bills for things that I never had anything to do with in the first place. It'll say something like your payment on your PayPal account has failed. So they expect you to go into your email and put in a bunch of the correct information from your credit card or your debit card or whatever. And maybe you don't even have a PayPal account. Try to remember those accounts that you do have. And if you don't have a PayPal account, I would just delete those emails. But anyway, the thing is, watch out for these. Look at the subject lines of the emails. And if it doesn't look like any of the subject line rings true, or the sender, if they don't ring true to you, then just delete it. Don't even open it up, because you could be just opening yourself up for all kinds of trouble. Now, let's get to this list. Here are some scams that you need to watch out for. You've probably heard about this one. The person in need and the grandparent scam. Let's cover this one because this is relatively common, I think. The grandparent scam is so effective because it exploits people's emotions. First, this caller they'll call you up and they'll target you into volunteering information like your grandchild's name. They may say something like, "Hi, Graham, do you know who this is?" Then with that name at the ready, they impersonate the grandchild. In this scam, the fake grandchild asks for help with car payments, late rent, a medical emergency, or even to post bail so they can get out of jail. They pretend to be in distress. They will call you up and beg you for money to help them out. And they're not even your grandchild. In another version of the scam, a caller claims to be an arresting police officer or a doctor or a lawyer trying to help your grandchild. Their whole thing is preying on your emotions. And they'll pressure you into sending them money to help out this grandchild who is really not in distress at all. Well, the first thing you need to do is, when these people call up, if you don't have any grandchildren, you can just hang up right away. If you have grandchildren, you still think it's a scam, you can play along with them. That's kind of fun, actually, to play along with them. But don't ever give them any financial information. Don't give them anybody's name if you can help it. Just don't cooperate with them at all. You know what is even worse is these scams are even harder to identify and resist thanks to artificial intelligence. Con artists can clone real voices of your relatives and then commit the fraud. How do they make money on this? Well, it all involves things like gift cards and wire transfers, and because those things don't always require identification to redeem. Some victims report scammers show up at their homes posing as couriers to pick up the money. Number 2 here, financial services scam. The con artists work on this because they appear to come from a legitimate source. They will tell you they come from a bank or a mortgage company or a collection agency. they'll not just call, they'll also text you on your cell phone. They'll send you a text that looks real and totally legitimate. They may claim that that your checking account or your savings account has been compromised in some way, and they'll ask for personal information, especially for passwords and social security numbers. Quite often, they'll say something, to the effect of, "Well, we need to get the correct information and verify your account by we need your name, we need your account number, we need your credit card number, we need all the information on it, your credit card number, your expiration date, your little CVV 3-digit code on the back kind of thing." Don't ever fall for that kind of stuff. These companies will not call you. Your banks won't call you for this to verify your card information. They just won't. So don't cooperate with those kind of calls at all. You see, when we age, whether it's real or it's imagined, we get confused. We can get flustered. We don't think quite as quickly as we used to when we were younger. But you need to just stop, slow down, and think about what's happening when these things come across your table. There is another scam. It's a tech support scam. These are really fun for me because not just recently, but I used to get calls on tech support type things quite regularly, and I would enjoy playing with them. The call typically will be from someone who's from a foreign country. That should be one tip off, is that they have a very heavy accent, and they prey on doubts and discomforts that a lot of us in this age group may have regarding computers and technology and how to operate things. In fact, when it comes to fraud committed against people our age, tech support scams are usually the top of the list. And usually what happens is a person's computer or phone screen will freeze up or go blank. A pop-up message will appear with a phone number to dial for help. This kind of thing will happen if you open an email or click a link on an email that you don't know exactly what it's for, and then pretty soon, before you know it, your computer or your phone is all locked up and you don't know what to do. But there'll be a message that says, "Call this number and we'll help you." Don't do that. Don't call that number. Don't ever do that. Ever, ever, ever. Even if it says it's from Microsoft or it's from Apple, don't ever, ever, ever do that. There's no legitimate reason for you to do that. Do not do it. So how do you get something fixed? Well, a lot of cases you have to do it yourself. Or there's ways to reset your phone. There's ways to reload and redo your computer. But you might need to get somebody you trust and to fix that stuff for you if you don't know exactly what you're doing. But let's get back to what I did when I would get these calls on these tech issues. They'd say, I am a guy calling who has a very bad South Asian type accent, and I am from Microsoft, and we have detected that you have a virus on your computer. And because I have some tech background, I know that this is just a total scam. So I'll say, I will play absolutely totally dumb and say, "Oh, well, what could that be?" They'll say, "Well, first thing we need to do is get you to go to your computer and do this and do that." and I'll say, "Oh, where's the on and off button on my computer?" So I will just try and totally frustrate these people when they call and waste their time. Since I have nothing better to do, I will try and just string them along and waste their time as much as I possibly can because they deserve it. And a lot of times I'll go into a presentation of the gospel. I'll ask them, are they saved? I'll ask them, why are you doing this? Isn't there some other kind of better work for you to do than to be a scammer? And a lot of times they just hang up. But it's fun to mess with them, and it's fun to get them frustrated. I really enjoy doing that. Actually, I recorded a video one time of me doing exactly that thing, and maybe I'll put it up here sometime for you guys to watch. So, just to sum up the tech support scam issue, don't cooperate with these people no matter what. Don't even if the acting job on their part is so good that they've totally convinced you that they are from Microsoft or they're from Apple or they're from your bank or from whatever. Do not cooperate. Just hang up unless you want to play with them. The best thing to do is just hang up. Okay, government impersonation scams. This should be the easiest one to detect because the government never calls you for anything. Social Security Administration never calls for you for anything. The Internal Revenue Service never calls you for anything. Medicare never calls you for anything. So just hang up on them. They are just total frauds and scams. Trust me on this one. Social Security will never call you. Medicare will never call you. And the IRS will never call you. All three of those may send you a letter, but they're not going to call you. They're just not. So don't cooperate with phone scams that originate supposedly from some of those government offices, or pretty much any government office. I mean, if it's if it's the Department of Licensing or whatever, they don't call. Are you kidding? The government does not have enough initiative in the million employees that they have to get up enough gumption to actually pick up the phone and dial a number. They're not going to call you. They just don't do it. Okay, moving on. Romance scams. Now, as flattered and as you may have wishful thinking that somebody is going to like your Facebook post and say hi handsome. They're going to lure you into getting acquainted and get close and whatever, but they're just trying to feel you out and get you lured into some kind of fraud scheme. Now, I'm going to just read this paragraph so that we are totally on the same page here. As more people turn to online dating, con artists are seizing the opportunity. Romance scammers create fake social media profiles and use them to gain trust and steal money. I'm going to stop right there. Let's say you're on Facebook, and a lot of people our age, the social media is pretty much Facebook. There was a number, I should really look this up, but there was a number that came out not too long ago that was some astronomical percentage of the users on Facebook were fake, or they were bots. In other words, they were AI fake bots. fake profiles, and they're trying to get you, or they're scammers, and they're trying to get you roped into something. Back to the paragraph. In some cases, these scammers may be overseas. They may ask their victims to pay for visas, medical emergencies, and travel expenses, any way they can squeeze some money out of you so they can come to the U.S. See, this is where you got to be careful. If you're in the market, you don't want to be falling for a scam of some man or woman overseas looking to get into this country, looking to fake get into this country because they just want your money. The U.S. dollar is pretty valuable to some places overseas, so you got to be careful. These are also called sweetheart scams, and they can drag out for a long time. It might take years for them to get the money out of you that they really want to get out of you. And they'll string you along, and string you along. I want to make this clear. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm reading from the paragraph, okay? As a result, victims often lose a lot of money. In one recent incident, a California widow lost $700,000 to a man who contacted her and cultivated what she believed to be a true friendship, over the online app called WeChat. Okay. And in case you're wondering, this I'll repeat this again. This is the National Center on Aging. I'll put the link to this article that I've been reading from in the description of the video so that you can go to it and check it out. Now, until I can get to the point where YouTube will accept just a link and it'll automatically work, you might have to copy and paste the link from the description to your browser, and in order to see this again. But my channel is so new that us rookies on YouTube are restricted for some reason, to be able to put a link in our description. So, let's see, we ran a little longer than I thought. So we're going to save the next subject for the next video, or one a little bit down the road. And this is new to me too. It'll get me in the middle of the frame here. Okay. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Daily Creak. Wisdom with a side of ibuprofen. Now, again, this is not necessarily my wisdom. Some of it is my wisdom, but a lot of it comes from the research that I do for these videos, and I hope it helps you. If you find that it does help you, or you're interested in what's coming down the pike here on the Daily Creak, you should subscribe. Click the subscribe button at the bottom of the video. Click the thumbs up so that YouTube knows that you like this kind of thing, and that really helps the channel. And there was something else I was going to say. What the heck was it? Well, I forgot it, and that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes at our age, and we'll just have to deal with that on a daily basis here on the Daily Creak. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one, and you know what's going to happen is that when I stop this recording, I'm going to remember exactly what I wanted to say. And I may actually, if that happens, I will record another shorter video and just attach it to the end of this one. But I think it's totally gone now, so I guess we'll just have to stop it right here. Well, we'll see you next time. I'm Jay. Have a good rest of your day.